If you want to get hired as a data analyst, here's what you can start doing right now to ensure that you're going to pass your SQL interview. I've been in the field for more than 20 years, and I've been hiring data analysts for the last 12 plus years, and here's what you need to know. During the interview, there's 3 common things that almost all candidates do, and you definitely do not want to do these things. First, they don't write down the question. This can cause the candidate to forget the question, thus giving a wrong answer. But what's even worse is when the candidate asks to repeat the question after they've already started giving their answer. This shows a lack of attention to detail and just basic operations. Why? Because the candidate's literally in probably one of the most important meetings that they're going to be in, but they can't be bothered to take notes. As a hiring manager, why would anybody expect that the candidate's going to behave even better on the job versus what they did in the interview? Second, candidates that don't ask clarifying questions. They'll dive right in without giving much thought to how the data is structured or without thinking about how the full data set could be different from those few rows that are being displayed on the screen during the interview. This either demonstrates that the candidate is not thinking about the data, either because they don't have that much experience or because they're just okay making assumptions, and neither is good. Third, a lot of candidates won't explain what they're doing and why they're making those decisions. A lot of candidates will work quietly as they write their code, and some will talk about their code a little bit, but they won't really explain it. This means that the candidate is missing out on an opportunity to showcase deeper skills to the interviewer and the opportunity to prevent the interviewer from thinking that the candidate doesn't have experience. For example, a very experienced candidate might choose to write a query that is not the most performant, but they did it for some other reason. However, an experienced interviewer might look at that and think that that is not something an experienced candidate would do, and they'll formulate their opinion around that. But for most candidates, when they're prompted to explain how their code works or how a specific function works, this is where candidates freeze up. This is generally due to candidates only having surface-level knowledge of SQL and not really getting in-depth on any of those functions or understanding how the database works and how things work in the real world. So if you want to increase your chances of getting hired and passing your interview, you need to focus in on these 3 things. But to be able to answer these questions and write good quality SQL, you're going to have to get in-depth knowledge and training. Simply working on a few practice problems is not going to make you stand out from all the other people that you're competing with. For more tips on how to get hired or how to get promoted as a data analyst, check out my website, analyticsmentor.io.